Hey guys, and welcome to the Lazy Lemon Creations podcast. My name is Lindsay. You can find me on Instagram as Lazy Lemon Creations, and you can find me on Ravelry as Lazy Lemon. I live in the heart of the New River Valley with my husband and our 2 kids, who everybody in my house is currently asleep right now because it is 11:51 at night. It is January 1st of 2024, and I was supposed to film last night, and my battery kept dying, so I decided to film today. And the day got away from me. Everybody's asleep, so I'm podcasting now. So join me for this late night podcast. This will go up probably tomorrow on January 2nd, which is my 30th birthday. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited that later this month I will hit my 1 year of podcasting. So January is just a really big exciting month this year. So yay to that. But this is my podcast about my knitting, my crochet, my cross stitch, and any other crafting thing that I'm up to. And so let's go ahead and jump into it. The first thing is my FOs, which I do not have with me. I gave them to their recipients over the Christmas and New Year week break that we had and everything like that, but I will insert a picture here. It was 3 different hats. They were all the Star Top Beanie, which is a pattern by Jody Brown, one of the sisters of the Grocery Girls. And I just omitted the pom-pom for the hat. But the 3 hats are all a Star Top Beanie. One was made with Psychedelic Sunset and Stroll, which are both Knit Picks colors. The other one was Zen and Stroll, which was a Knit Picks color. And then the last one was actually a Lion Brand Mandela Ombre color. It's the black and gray and white one. And that one I just ran out of Stroll that would match the sibling hats. So that hat is an ombre hat. And then also there will be 3 socks as well. A kid's pair that is Psychedelic Sunset, a kid's pair that is Zen, and then a kid's pair that is Under the Sea, I think is what it's called. But for those, for the hats, I used a 16-inch size 4 needle, Chalgu red lace. And then for the heels, they're all Magic Heel socks. The Psychedelic Sunset pair, which is the rainbow looking color, was made using 56 stitches. The Zen colorway and the Under the Sea colorway was made using 48 stitches. Those are for the brothers, and they're the same size and they're younger, so they used a smaller sock. I do my socks on magic loop. My typical sock recipe, which you'll see later in one of my whips, is a 2x2 ribbed cuff for 20 rows. But for the kids, I had to do it a little bit differently just because of where I needed to start the heel to fit the foot. So that is my FOs. It is actually 3 hats and 3 pairs of socks, but I don't have them to show you. So hopefully that picture will be nice and pretty and show you guys, hey, I finished them. And so those rounded out my December stats, which I'll get to at the end here. Actually, before we jump into whips, because none of the whips count towards December, let's jump into December stats. Why not? What's stopping us? So I'm getting my notebook here where I tracked everything for not only each individual month, but for the whole year. And let's get back to December. For the yarn in, I had 100 grams that I kept. And for the yarn out, I had 214 grams. So for the month to date, I had 214 grams. And for the year to date, I was positive 576 grams, meaning I used more grams than, there were more grams used than I brought in. So I'm pretty excited about that. I was very happy for that, to finish out the year on a positive note. Let's go ahead and show you what that looked like. So for the grams in for the entire year, I had 1,500 grams, and I thought that was a very nice even number, and I really liked that for my grams in, which I was sitting here thinking about how well-rounded it was, but when you really think about it, when you get a hank of sock yarn, or you get a ball of it from Knit Picks, or anywhere you get it, typically comes in either a 20, a 50, 100 variety, a base of 10. So going up to 1,500 grams wouldn't be that hard. It's not some magical number that just appeared out of nowhere. But the grams out was 2,076 grams. So that made me really happy. And then my total finished objects, I finished 26 pairs of socks. I finished 6 hats. I didn't finish any blankets this year. I did finish 1 cowl. And then I didn't have anything for other this year. I do have all of my projects here individually, just what the project was and when I started and finished it. I also have it in this notebook. So the way I did it, just to show you guys so that it's not too confusing, but like I would have the month and I would have the projects there as I finished it in that month. And then at the end, let me get to it. There we go. And at the end, I have all of my projects here. Let's see if I can get that in frame. And so it's the individual project and the start and end date for that as well. Because some projects carried on from one month to another. And so I wanted to see how long it took me to actually finish each individual project. And I want to say there's only 3 in here that are carrying over from last year. 2 of them are blankets and 1 of them's a sock. So I'm really excited about that. I will be doing this again starting here in January. I've already got it written out for grams in and grams out and any finished objects that I do. So I am excited to start January out. Let's go ahead and jump into some whips while I have them here. So the first whip, which is a carryover from 2023, is my cross stitch. I found it, I've been working on it, and I love it. So let me pull it out here. Here it is. And then it goes all the way down here. So the last time that you would have seen it, everything from these 2 roses right here down, excluding the heart in the center. The heart in the center was already done. But everything from this point down, I have done in about a week and a half since finding my cross stitch project. Found it, I want to say the day after Christmas. And so, yeah, for about a week now, I've been working on this cross stitch. And as you can see, I'm in the process right there of getting another flower started. It'll go all the way down, loop around, and then the center here is going to have a lot of text in it. And as you guys can see, I don't have this in a hoop. I did in the very beginning with the bow, but I'm weird and I don't like on big projects like this where it takes up a lot of your floss, your threading sheet. I don't like the rings constantly on it. I don't care to fold it up. I'm going to iron it out and fix it later, so that doesn't bother me. But like the rings from the cross stitch hoop, that bothers me more. So I'm just not doing it. I'm just not doing the hoop. I just hold the fabric as is. I don't really need that tension. I mean, there are some places, but it does give it a more 3D effect to it. But I enjoy it. So it doesn't bother me at all. I'm not freehanding it. There is a pattern. It is Paul to Corinthians from the Bible. If I can find a link, I will include it down below. But to be honest, I don't know where I purchased it from. And I don't know where to purchase it at. So I will do a Google search, an Amazon search, a Target search, a something search, and see if I can find that cross stitch pattern. But I absolutely love it, and that is my current whip right now that is bringing me the most nostalgia, because cross stitch is something I haven't done in a long time, and I really, really enjoy making my cross stitch. So hold on. Okay. My next whip that I have, hold on. Well, it's a hoe, but still, is this sock right here. It is the Knit Picks Felicini or Felicini, or however you want to say it. I'm going to say Felicini. It is the Knit Picks Felicini yarn in the colorway Lemon Bar. Micro stripes is what I would describe it as, because there's only about 2 to 3 rows per color before it swaps to a new color. But it's gorgeous. I love it. And I am, let's see here. I am still in my gusset for my second sock. So I have finished the heel flap and the heel turn, and I am working on my gusset stitches now. So this sock is still a whip right now. My sock recipe, my standard sock recipe, is a 2x2 20 row cuff that I do. Normally I do 30 rows for my leg. I like 30 rows, but this yarn comes in 100 grams, which most indie dyed yarn will come in 100 grams. And Felici normally would come in 50, which is why I would do a 30 row leg. And I would typically do an alternative cuff and toe to make my yarn last. But because this is 100 grams, I'm going all out, and I am doing a 50 row leg, which is new for me. I don't like long legs. Correction, I have one pair of socks that has a long leg, and it was an Advent sock. I love the sock, I just don't like the fit on my leg. I'm trying it with the Knit Picks just to see. And if I don't like the 50 row leg, I'll go back to my 30 row leg. That doesn't hurt my feelings at all. Plus, if I go to 30 row legs, it leaves enough minis so that I can send all my scraps to Lisa so she can have them. Which, that package is on the way, Lisa. I dropped it off at the mailbox today. Sorry for it being so late. And back to my sock recipe. Sorry. 20 row cuff. Normally a 30 row leg, but this sock is a 50 row leg. And then, of course, heel flap and gusset, my foot, and then my toe. I follow the vanilla sock on Magic Loop by Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady pattern. That's what I do. That's my recipe for my socks. It's what I like. It fits my foot. It's a very good pattern to follow for socks. And that's what I'm doing. So that's what I do with my socks. My light bulb stitch markers are also an idea from Kay. Let's see if there they are. It is also an idea from Kay, and it is to keep track of how many rows you're knitting. So every 10 rows, I have a light bulb stitch marker. And so it tells me how many more rows I have to go in my sock. And as I work on the second sock, every 10 rows, I will take it from the first one and add it to the second one. And that's how I will keep up with making sure my socks are the exact same size, because my gauge does not change enough. But I do have some 9-inch circulars coming. They should be delivered tomorrow on my birthday from Amazon. So I will try those soon, and I'm excited to see what that's like. So I'm excited. These are residing in my Grinch bag that I got from Amber of Amie Marie Knits. And once I finish this project, I will probably stop using that bag, considering it is a Christmas themed bag. But I am one to use whatever makes me happy, so I might pull that out again in July just because I want to. And so it doesn't bother me at all. But Amber made me that bag, and I love using it. It's very spacious, and I enjoy it a lot. Then my only other whip that I have is in my Deli Q bag. I don't know if that's actually going to show up at all. There it is. Delicue. It's in this rainbow bag. Amie of Happy Little Yarn gave me this bag, and it also came with the other two sizes, the medium and the small, but I'm using the large. And in it is a muscle burrow project that I'm working on. So I got this yarn. It is, do I have the label near me? I don't think, sorry. I know I have it somewhere. There it is. It's in here. The yarn is from Kimber's Cozy Creations. Okay. And it is her sock blank in the neon rainbow color. There it is. Which is a 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon. Look at this yarn. Oh my god, it's so pretty. So the reason why it's so bumpy looking is because it was a sock blank. And I think I have a photo that I can insert to show you what it looks like before I wind it up. But I just unwound it from the blank and wound it into a cake. And that's how I'm knitting this. And so as you can see here with the yarn, it's going to focus on my face, but there you go. You can see with the yarn, it's, it looks like ramen, okay? It looks like, you know, oodles and noodles, as my country self would say, but it looks like ramen because it was previously knit. It was knit into a blank and dyed and everything like that. And so that's why it has the little squiggles to it. But I am making a muscle burrow with it. And I cast it on today, the 1st. And I normally do not do the increases. I do not like casting on at the very beginning of a muscle burrow and working it from point to the hat. I have a different way of casting on that I really enjoy that I do for all of my Felici ones. But for this one, to make sure that I used every single ounce of this gradient yarn, I went back and started at the beginning where you're supposed to and am knitting this muscle burrow hat. And I start on magic loop until I get to the stitches that I need, and then I transferred it to my 16-inch needles. I have my beginning of round marker right there just because I'm weird and like to have my beginning of round marker for when I ended my increases be in the same spot when I go to start my decreases. And then I am tracking my progress for today with my little, it's a snowman face by Twin Mountain Handcrafts. He is see-through and glittery and absolutely gorgeous. And so this is what I'm working on right now. And this color, I'm on most of the purple, like you can see it through the pink. I am very close to the purple, and so I will probably be working on this later tonight as I'm editing, because this isn't going up until tomorrow, but I do have to edit it at some point. But I am using a size 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter needle. Like I said, the bag is a Delicue bag, and the yarn is by the amazing Kimber's Cozy Creations. And this is my first time using her yarn, and I am in love with it. I really, really like how it feels. I really, really like what it's doing, and I'm excited to do more. So that gets me into what my goal is for 2024. So I have a few goals. One of them is the 2024 Sock Along Challenge. I think it's by, yeah, so it's from Silly Goose Yarns. She is doing the 2024 Sock Challenge, and she wanted to knit 12 pairs of socks in the 12 months of the year. And I think that's a great idea, and I'm doing that for myself. I'm hoping to do another pair in January so that I can actually truly be from the start and finish of the year. But if not, this whip can count. But my goal is 1 pair of socks a month, 1 hat a month, typically a muscle burrow. I can also do a star top beanie. I like doing this for kids a little bit better, but the muscle burrows are probably my favorite things to knit. And then 1 book a month, and then 3 new to me dyers. And I had heard of Kimber's Cozy Creations before, but I had never purchased from her, and I had never used her yarn before, so this is counting as one of my dyers. And I actually have my second dyer. I think I did a pre-order, I want to say. I'm not sure. The yarn's coming later this month, so when it gets here, I'll talk about that. Not 3 new dyers each month. 3 new dyers this year. It just so happens that I might literally knock it out in the first 3 months of the year, and that's okay if I do. It doesn't bother me. So that is my goal for 2024. It's to keep it really simple and just do what makes me happy. And that's knitting socks, knitting hats, and reading. So that's what I'm doing. But I have all of this in my Deli Q bag, which I just think is the appropriate bag for this hat because it's rainbows. It's a rainbow bag, it's a rainbow hat. It's perfect. Okay, so that's WIPs. That's the plans for the new year. And then I think that's all I have. I think that wraps up 2023 and it rings in 2024. We had a great first day of the year. We went on a walk and it was very, very cold, but we've been trying to get outside and do things during this winter break until school starts back on the 8th. So we have a whole other week with the kids. Then they go back to school and mommy gets her time back again, and I'm so excited. But, oh, reading and watching. About 3 nights ago, my daughter wanted me to start reading Harry Potter as her bedtime story, and so we have started reading Harry Potter together, and so I'm reading that right now. I'll be editing out all the yawns this time, but boy, they're getting to me. I'm also reading the Lightbringer series by Brent Weeks that my husband wanted me to read. The first one, The Blinding Knife. I will be starting that tonight once I lay down to go to sleep. Probably only going to get about 2 pages in because I'm already yawning and I'm pretty tired. So, but I told him I was going to start it, so that's what I'm going to do. And then tomorrow, I think we're going to go out to dinner. Well, I guess today, depending on how you want to look at time, because it's technically after midnight. Anyway, for my birthday, we are going to be going out to dinner. We are probably going to be doing hibachi at our local kabuki restaurant. So I'm excited for that. And then we're just going to come home, and I just want a peaceful day. I want to sleep in. That's the biggest thing, is I want to sleep in. So hopefully I do not have to be up in 7.5 hours and that I can sleep in a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then, yeah, we're going to take down the Christmas tree this weekend. We leave it up until about January 6th, and then we take it down. And I'm excited to get my living room space back. And my daughter is excited to take the tree down because she got roller skates for Christmas, and she has been roller skating throughout the house, but one of our biggest pathways is from our living room to our kitchen, and our Christmas tree is quite literally in the middle of that. And so she can't just roller skate from one door to the next. So she's excited for the tree to get taken down for that reason. So I'm excited for her to be able to do that. And that's it. Oh, my vacuum cleaner stopped, so I'm pretty pissed about that. I have to get a new vacuum cleaner, which, you know, I'm turning 30 and yay for new appliances, but this is 2 weeks after they sent me a new motor for this vacuum, and so it should have lasted a lot longer. And no, we're not vacuuming up anything that we shouldn't be. And so it's kind of got me mad. So hopefully I'll be getting a new vacuum cleaner soon. But that's it. I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. I'm going to get this edited. And also, it's the very end of the podcast. I started it last year. If you want to support the podcast, there is a way that you can do that down below on my Ko-Fi account. And all the links that everything I talk about are also down below. My Instagram, my Ravelry, and any shops that I mention of bags, yarn, or anything like that. If it's available, it will be linked down below. So if you have any questions, leave me a comment. I will see you guys soon in probably about 2 weeks here in January. So I hope you have a great start to your 2024, and I hope to see you throughout the rest of the year on the podcast.